Hey, and welcome to another episode of the Odd Pod. We're back after a week off. How was your week off, Dave? Oh, you're gone. Where's your mic? Just me now. I'm gonna hold the fort. I'm gonna ruin this show. I still can't hear you, man. What's going on? Oh, looks like we've been away a bit longer than a week. Well, I'll keep us going there for a minute. I think I heard something there.
Yeah, you got me?
There you go. There you go. Oy.
Yeah.
Look at that. It's like we never left. I mean, it's such a smooth.
Well, you left, Ben.
I did leave.
You left me here alone in the apocalyptic wasteland that is South County Dublin.
You did have Pearl Jam though while I was gone.
Did have Pearl Jam. Yeah.
That
was awesome. I'll tell you what now, you would have been screwed, right, if you'd gone to Pearl Jam with, like, you know, a less than average height, dad bod, kind of middle-aged, graying man, and you lost him in the crowd, and then you were asked to describe what he looks like. You know, there were 40,000 of us there, man.
40,000? Really?
40,000 of me, basically. I looked around, I was like, holy God, like,
it's like looking in the
Pearl Jam has a type, you know, and it's this.
That's a good type. It's a handsome type, Dave.
No, thanks very much. Yeah, no. I think all the short artists love Pearl Jam because Eddie's one of us. You know,
right on the money there.
Yeah. There's a bit of that going. Yeah, it's okay, man. We relate. We know your struggle. You know, to reach the top shelf.
It's a tough struggle.
But yeah, I mean, like 33 songs.
Yeah, I saw the set list.
It's good night out.
The screen of it for this, but unbelievable. I think you can see it on. I think it's the setlist.com where Pearl Jam are kind of famous for changing up their set list even a few minutes before they go on, just to make every individual gig that bit different than the last.
Well, so we've been following, myself and a couple of mates from school have been following the set lists quite closely. We're fans, and you know, we wanted to make sure we were getting our money's worth because those tickets weren't cheap, you know, and it was looking like, you know, 70-30 new album, old stuff, and we're like, the new album's good and all, you know, but it's like, you know,
you want to hear
the bangers, you know, and in fairness to them, they brought it because like it's been 10 years since they played here, and they mixed it up all right. I think other than the new album, there were like 4 or 5 new albums, and even on the sound check, because I live near Marley Park and I can hear the sound checks, and a couple of my friends were stuck up a tree like watching the sound check. But anyway, even and sent me videos, which I sent you, and even on the sound check, they played like 6 of the new songs and only like a snippet of one of the old ones, and I was like, you know. Yeah, but no. Other than like I think 4 or 5 new songs, they played. Everything else was pre-1998. So
yeah, you're right. It would have been all the good stuff. Yeah. Oh, you sent me that video, and I thought it was one of your kids up in the tree or something. I didn't realize it was one of your.
No, it was a 48-year-old man.
Was he okay getting out of the tree? Yeah.
The same guy. I love him, man. He's so cool. Like he the day before he sent me a photo on Instagram, and it was him and Matt Cameron standing around in town, and I'm like, what? And he's like, oh, you know, I just happened to know where he'd be, and you know, and I figured it out, and you know, I was like, and then he texts me back, I'm definitely not stalking, you know.
Yeah, when he says I figured it out, it's
I figured it out. Yeah, there's a you know there's a board, pins, and the charting.
Yeah,
but shout out to Sambo, fair play to you.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
Yeah, man, it was a great gig, and I know they're Marmite. I know some people hate them. Like one of my best friends, I was like texting them. I was out Pearl Jam are sound checking him. Like I can hear them in my back garden. He was like, "Oh, you poor thing." So you know,
whatever.
He's just cool. You know, he's going to see Jane's Addiction tomorrow night.
Oh, nice. Nice.
But Friday night, I think. But yeah, it was amazing, and I loved it, and it was awesome, and
While we're
yay.
talking about these guys, we have pictures. Let me get them up because I feel like we're already past the chit chat and into the cool stuff that's been happening.
Well, cool if you're, you know, us.
Not your mate who doesn't like her. Yeah, whatever.
Eddie, I can see you, Eddie. Can
How
you
close
see
were
me?
you?
That was him looking at me. Oh no, we were pretty close. We were in what's called a golden circle. Hang on, where's the camera? A golden circle, which is just a pen that fits about 10,000 people. But it was quite roomy, as golden circles go. So it was really chill and relaxed, and everyone had enough space to jump or not, based on how healthy their knees are. You know, because that age, you know.
I always think of Otto watching U2 and The Simpsons, where he's sitting in his chair watching the gig, and everyone around him is dancing, having a good time, and he's sitting there, sit down, you're ruining this for everybody. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like
we should probably explain who the Simpsons are, and who U2 are. No,
really? Yeah. Do we have to do that?
Well, you know, probably. But
yeah, I'm raging I missed it. I've missed them every time they've been over here so far.
But you were in another country.
I was out of the country. I was out of the country with work. I was in this place, literally at Sarapita in Spain, and it was unbelievable.
Looks unbelievable.
I joined this company just the right time to get away with them. There's like a big team are from all over the world, so they kind of bring them together at one point in the year to get everyone talking and actually making calls over the course of a few minutes instead of 5 or 6 email threads or Slack notifications, whatever. But we got a couple of days here, and it was just unbelievable. It was great to meet everybody. Everyone on the team, brilliant, lots of fun, and nice. It was a real first for me because I'm one of the oldest guys on the team, where usually I'm one of the youngest, so it was a real change for me.
Yeah. So did you instantly assume, a Godfather type role there, or sage uncle?
More like a go away dad role. One of those.
What were you doing?
Just making sure everyone has sunscreen,
okay. You weren't offering to rub it on, right?
Yeah, everyone had a buddy. We had a buddy system. No. It was one of those moments where I had to double take on my life and go, "What's happened? Why? What is going on?"
That went by fast.
I guess I'm there now, but it was great meeting everyone. It was great getting to these places. A bunch of lads on the team like to go cliff jumping, but I'm an old man now with a bad back. I can't go cliff jumping. So
is cliff jumping just jumping off cliffs?
Pretty much, yeah. I'm making sure you're jumping into something safe, I guess, not just jumping off cliff.
Something safe,
like a good body of water where you're not going to go.
Okay, right. Hit. Not like an elephant or something. I don't know.
No, or it's not like parkour either. You're not like rolling and trying to pull off a thing. You're just jumping into a lot of water.
Diving. Yeah.
I don't know if you call what we did diving. But the guys did.
Did you do it?
No, I couldn't. I'm only kind of getting my back together. So
right.
I'm at a point of it getting good. I don't want to do something silly now and ruin
it. It wouldn't be my back that would stop me. It'd be my brain.
No, I wish I would have had the brain to stop me, I guess. But I was told before I left you not to do that, so I didn't.
Oh, right, okay.
I think it was a good call. Yeah.
Oh, Mom.
Yeah. But
we're just children.
Proper thunder and lightning as well. Nice.
Nice metal.
Yeah. It was pretty cool. It was pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Actually, away. Yeah, it was awesome. Talking about getting away, I bet this guy wishes he could get away right now.
Oh, there he is.
Seen bits of these because I was away and at work and then home picking up the kids. But
I read a report. This evening that the car has crashed into his gaff. It was like someone was like on Twitter going, "That's a bit on the nose." But yeah, things just keep getting better for Rishi Sunak. Then he's got 5 MPs under investigation, or 5 candidates under investigation for betting on the election date, when they knew. And there's like 5 other members of the Met Police as well, and there's a protection officer who's been arrested, and they just got the date off him. I get the impression he's that guy in the office going, "Don't tell anyone, right? Whatever you do, don't tell anyone. But I know when, and of course, people are going to go, hang on, I can make a few quid out of this. I'm off to the bookies. Not the thing to do, really, when you're, in that position. But
I kind of get the feeling they're our test, our world, our global test to see what the end of the world is going to look like. Because it can't be too far from like anarchy and then just pure and utter devastation.
Are you saying there's anarchy in the UK?
No, I'm saying there's anarchy in the UK. Yeah, it's gonna happen. Yeah,
it's gonna come someday. Yeah. I mean, it's not even as interesting as that. It's just entropy. It's just like everything's falling apart, and the folks at the top have been revealed to be just the strip miners that they are, and if it's not labor, it's data, and if it's not data, it's actual natural resource, and they're just pulling everything out of that country at the moment. And they're blaming the poor and the destitute and refugees, and it's got nothing to do with any of those people. It's the people in power who are responsible for all of their problems. And then you see this happen, and you go, "Oh my God, they couldn't even resist to make like you're probably talking a couple of grand. You're not talking life-changing sums of money, but they couldn't even leave that alone, So they're gonna get what they deserve, And I don't know if a Labour government is necessarily going to be much better. I'm sure it will be a good change, but who knows? We saw where the last Labour government was, and they went straight to war. So
Yeah, reckon they'll begin a dread government. Will we see a bit of that happening?
A Britsit. Yeah. I mean, it's interesting. I was talking to somebody at the weekend, and we were talking about the election, because if you're talking to me, you're talking about the election, and in the US, and it just feels like there's no choice, and it feels like if obviously don't vote for Trump, but it feels like if Trump gets in, and it looks like he will, the repercussions of that will be dreadful across the world. But then if Biden gets in, the repercussions of that in the US could be equally dreadful, in terms of the Trump supporters going nuts and like really, going fury road on it, and just that's where you'll see anarchy. And then where do we go? Like, is there going to be internal terrorism? Is there and do we end up with a civil war? Do we end up with a and after that, do we end up with a mega city situation on our hands? And you could see it happen to an extent. Like, you could see in 100 years' time the union not holding up.
There was already an attempt at a coup, so why not go a step further? It's not impossible.
There's 2 apocalypses for you.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah. What happened if both those guys go? Yeah, that's a strange one.
Yeah, man. Ooh. It's not great, but anyway, billionaires shouldn't be allowed to run countries.
No. I know though. If we're coming to it, I'm contacting a billionaire and I'm buying all the cans food off Amazon that I possibly can. So that'll keep us going here until the biggest guy in the street comes around and takes them off me, I guess.
Yeah, that's pretty much the way it's gonna work. Yeah. I mean, you can't run a country like a company. You can't run a country for profit.
No,
you can't. Yeah, like you can't.
It's not a business. It's lacking that kind of bit of statesmanship, I think, that is needed across the world, globally. It's just
it's just you got to take care of people, like you have to, and if you don't, bad things happen. Guillotines get built, and that's our next step, I suppose. Anyway, I was going to say on to happier things, but
well, not so much. Bad news today. Kind of
what a ledge.
Staple in GAA, Micheál Mohertig has passed away. 93, amazing age. But he's going to be an icon, lost from the sport for as long as I can remember. His voice been part of either radio or on some kind of show on RTE, or it be actually looking after the games, or about the games, or about the people behind the games. He kind of knew it all, you know. He was in a GAA encyclopedia.
So we should probably explain for people who don't know what GAA is.
It is our national sports. We have hurling and Gaelic football. Funny enough, rounders, handball, and I think that might cover them all off.
Very technical there. So hurling is stick fighting.
Stick fighting, homicidal hockey. I've heard it called.
So you got like 50 people on a pitch. I've never played it. Holding sticks. How many people are there? 10 or I don't know what's on 15 sides, so like rugby. Southsider here, so like rugby. So 15, and then they've got okay. We don't need to get into it.
But it's just a fantastic sport, fastest sport on grass. Possibly like
fastest team sport on grass. Surely horse racing is the fastest sport on grass.
No, the fastest sport on. Well, I guess you could argue that. I don't know. I've seen it as being the fastest sport on grass because ice hockey is the fastest sport in the world.
So we're talking about the speed of the ball.
Coming third, yeah. So like we're the fastest on grass. There you go.
That reminds me of a guy in
the Royal we, yeah. Because we play hurling, right?
Yeah. Never in my life.
You never.
I've watched it being played by my sons, but I've never played it.
You ever pucked about with your mates?
No. I wasn't aware of Gaelic until I went to secondary school.
So what was your go-to
sport?
Yeah.
Well, I was more of a badminton man myself. Squash. I liked a bit of squash. Racket sports, really.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. I liked the clothes.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the whites. Wasn't really,
Were you a tank top or a t-shirt guy?
A bit of both, depending on the season. Yeah.
Do you still play?
Well, no, the intention is there, but unfortunately the facilities aren't. So it's very difficult to find a squash court these days in Dublin.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, like anything around here is kind of gone. Yeah, there used to be like right around the corner from my house was the club I was in, but they got rid of the courts. It's great, but they've now got like what's that other game? Pickleball, paddle, that tennis thing. They've got those courts set up now, so I must go up and do a bit of that.
Are they similar to squash courts?
Well, paddle is like it's like a mix of squash and tennis.
Wow, it's a whole learning experience here. I had no idea.
Yeah, so you've got a net. It's played by 4 people. Yeah, it's played by 4 people. You've got a net. So it's set up like doubles. You've got a net, and then you can use the walls. So you've got walls around the court, and you can use them to rebound the ball. This is not what people come to the Odds Apocalypse for. But sports. Welcome to Sports Chat with Ben and Dave.
Lovely picture illustrated by.
Look at that, Graham. Yeah,
and
Graham
working a book with Micheál. So yeah, I mean, huge guy, huge loss. I'm sure he'll be all over all our local radio stations, national radio stations, national TV programs, all documenting every kind of impact he's had on the sport.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you say hurling's the fastest grass sport, but like Micheál Mohertig must have been the fastest commentator.
Maybe he had some.
He knew the name of every single player. He knew bizarre facts about them.
Yeah.
And there's Ben Hennessy, great man for the Irish dancing, and he's coming up to that, like that kind of way.
Well, he had that great one, wasn't it? It was he was commentating. I think it was a Cork game, and there was 2 guys named McCarthy in the backs, right? And famously, McCarthy passed back to McCarthy, and then the McCarthy passed back to the other McCarthy, right?
Right.
But he had said it something like it was McCarthy back to McCarthy, no relation. McCarthy back to McCarthy, still no relation.
Still no relation in 5 seconds. Nobody got married. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm sure he had more gems than that, but
He was a
he's
funny
awesome.
guy. Yeah,
Um,
he had a great sense of humor, didn't
yeah, but we
he?
move on to another Irish great,
Yes,
Mr. Beanie.
Chief Miles O'Brien.
Yeah, look at this.
Yeah,
Our friend Declan, who's
he was also an Irish great. Let's face it.
an Irish great. Yeah, I thought
Yeah,
we were going to steer that like Declan or Colin, but no,
yeah,
Mr. Meany.
yeah.
But
But
he's
Dec's probably the greatest export when it comes to Irish comic books.
I think so. Yeah,
I would
he's done
say.
quite a
You know,
lot.
now don't tell him we said that, right? Because oh my god, it'll go
Yeah,
straight to his
yeah.
head.
Don't tell him
But
that. No, tell him about this. Tell him to put this segment out on all his.
yeah. Yeah, okay, fine. But there he is with his hero, Chief Miles O'Brien.
Gorgeous cover, and Deck. The one thing I love about Deck's covers is he always leaves so much negative space for such a big impact. You know, these kind of things catch your eye, and then I think his art always manages to hold your eye as well. So Stellar.
I said it to him earlier that he's going to have to get Colin Meaney's signature on one of these.
That'd be brilliant. Yeah, he's got to get that.
I don't know if does Meaney do cons? He doesn't do cons, does he?
He's not on that
circuit. Yeah. Don't know.
No.
So it's going to be hard to track that down. But I'm sure
maybe,
he's
maybe this
around.
get him in. Maybe you have to show him this and lure him.
I think he's just find the pub he drinks in or something. You know, like
would be better. That sounds like more fun.
If you're out there and you know where Colin Meaney drinks, let us know and we'll tell Deck.
He's surely watching. Colin, give us a call.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's got it on the local.
Yeah.
In Barrytown or wherever the hell he is. Yeah.
And this is Defiant, isn't this? This is another one of those
it's one of them Star Trek books to
particular interest to Deck, isn't it? Deck is
yeah, no, he loves that stuff. Yeah, he's a Deep Space Nine head. And these are retailer incentive covers that IDW are doing. So yeah, it's a dream come true, I think, for young Declan.
That's a big one. It's a great one.
Yeah.
And it's amazing.
People of Ennis rejoice.
How good he's been at painting his own stuff, considering it's something he didn't start off doing. He's kind of picked it up as he's gone along, and looks like he's been doing it his whole life. You know?
Yeah, he makes everything look easy.
Don't tell him that. We won't put that segment out. Well, yeah, we'll put out the other bit.
Yeah.
Sorry. How much? In their Kickstarter afterwards? Over 3 million?
$3.1 million at the moment.
Oh, we were saying it over 2. Wow. Yeah.
It's now the most funded Kickstarter in the history of Kickstarter. Comics. Yeah.
Comics. Yeah.
So Berserker had the record, the Keanu Reeves book, but this has now beaten it. So congratulations, Alex Santone and Rob Kirkman and all those great people, especially Larry Hama and Rod Wiggum and the late MD Bright and Mike Zeck and Andy Kubert. He's doing those covers and those posters and stuff. Like, just
he's brilliant. He's always been one of the best and stayed valid throughout the years. He never looked like he aged. This stuff is still very current and modern looking, gorgeous.
And he does all the latest G.I. Joe covers as well. So this is 307, which is out this week.
That's gorgeous.
And look at that. Look at that.
Yeah. Yes. It's just brilliant. It's still really cool,
Yeah. I just love a bit of that, Kind of tell my kids this was mom and dad.
And did you keep up on all the stretch goals? Are you happy where it's gone? Did it get to many of them?
Oh God, there's so many now. I've lost track. There's prints, and so they eventually got to a point. I was going through. I was explaining it to my better half earlier because she was like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah." So $3.1 million for starters. I was right.
Right.
And she was like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "Well, I was right to continue to be a fan of G.I. Joe all these years."
It paid off. Yeah,
but it paid off for Skybound. I mean, they get to a point with the stretch goals where they're just like, screw it, trading cards, So it's just like trading card. But yeah, I mean the stretch goals are. This is the one little tiny little gripe I have about this. Right, all that money, lots and lots of stretch goals. And they're all great and everything, and everybody wants all the cards and stuff, right? And they're all going to be highly collectible, and we love that. But they could have done one action figure, you know.
Ooh, and yeah, it's an oversight.
Of a character that's only ever been in the comics, like Dr. Venom or someone like that, from issue 2. And like that would have, I think if they'd done that, they would have gotten all the classified collectors in. They probably have all the classified collectors already. But they would have made sure they got them in. After they get to whatever, 3.5 million. And like that would have given it a huge boost, You
think they'd get there? Do you think? Because they have up until tomorrow or
tomorrow, 26th. That's it. So they have stretch goals up to 3.5 million on the site, but I mean it was 3.1 at like 6 o'clock. It's probably 3.2 now.
Wow, yeah.
And then that last day of a Kickstarter, of a really popular Kickstarter, always goes up again. So you could see 4 million.
Yeah, and that'd be amazing. I would love for her to get that. That'd be great.
I mean, some people argue that publishers shouldn't do this, and I don't think G.I. Joe fans are really trawling Kickstarter for indie books.
No, they're not. But
so I think it's a very different market,
Yeah.
And I say this as someone who does trawl Kickstarter for indie books, but I'm probably an anomaly there.
Like print is getting so expensive. I think more and more people are seeing this as not a viable way to do it, but the way to do it. And
the only way to do it.
It's hard then for indies. Like where do they go now? I saw just before we popped on the call today, on the podcast today. Like I saw Ronda Rousey has a book coming out. Mike Deodato was on it.
That makes sense.
I think she's written it, and it's a kind of an action genre graphic novel.
Is he in it?
He could be. I mean, like he's probably as tough as she is, to be honest. He's
pretty ripped, that guy, isn't he?
Yeah. But it features, I believe, a pregnant protagonist. Looks like Ronda goes around kicking the head off folks.
Cool. Is it just is it a pitch for a movie?
I don't know. It could probably go that way depending on how the sales go for it. But it is another kind of like, superstar Hollywood actress doing a Kickstarter instead of just making the book. And that just seems to be the way it's going now. Like, as opposed to maybe looking at
I mean 20 years ago or more, it was big name writers moving into comics, so Kevin Smith writing Daredevil and that kind of stuff. So now I suppose they just go where the market is. They go where they'll get the most.
That's what it feels like. Yeah. But
I was moaning. Here we go. I'm going to drop some names. I was moaning about that to Jim Lee, and he was like, "It's survival of the fittest, Dave. Just be fitter." I was like, "Cool." And I never ended up as fit or fitter than Kevin Smith. Anyway, I don't know what that says about me.
Still surviving though.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? Let's move on.
You picked Joe, right? Or did you pick Cobra? Oh, when are you going for again?
Who did you think I picked?
Joe.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
come on.
Got it.
Yeah.
While we're on Joe and toys and etc., you have
NECA. Yeah, they got some. So the SDCC is almost upon us. San Diego Comic-Con, the big eye that watches pop culture. And NECA are continuing their original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles releases with this exclusive set of original designs.
I love the nunchucks there.
Yeah, it's cool. It's really cool. So you've got like a Donnie and a Mike. I know it's a Leo and a Mike, isn't it? And it's just awesome. Nice that they're an exclusive, because they're not going to go mass,
No, they're not.
So that's kind of going to build value.
I do love how this is something that you're not really that familiar with, but you're all in on turtle toys.
I'm all in on these ones.
Yeah.
So the original kind of look Eastman Laird ones, yeah, defo. Just because they're interesting looking.
They are really good looking. Yeah, I like how they do look like the drawings from the book.
They're not flashy. They're not cartoony. They're not, because I know it started in the 80s, but really it's a 90s franchise in my head anyway.
So. That's when it took off, I think.
And I'm not really mad about 90s franchise. Like I was talking about this to Bruno the other day, and it was like the 80s had the best ones, but then there's so much from the 90s. Like there were so many more kind of toy franchises started in the 90s, you know, but they didn't have the oomph of the stuff in the 80s. So you got like Transformers, G.I. Joe, He-Man, you know, Turtles starting off that in the 1980s. And then in the 90s, you like Biker Mice from Mars, and some other animal from somewhere else, you know, and you know, Battletoads, all based on turtles, you know.
Biker Mice is good though. I'm looking forward to that.
It's back.
That's getting a reboot. Is it this year?
It's back this week.
This week,
baby. Right. Yeah. So Nacelle company, who made the Toys That Made Us and other such nerdy documentaries, they bought a load of toy licenses or revitalized a load of toy licenses. So Biker Mice from Mars, they're dead. The action figures are in the Big Bang right now. I think there's a new comic book this week. Cool. And what else do Nacelle have? Sectors. I really like Sectors from the 80s. Do you remember them?
No, Sectors.
No. So they lasted about 5 seconds.
Right.
So Sectors, Warriors of Symbion were these action figures that were, so it took the storyline behind them was, okay, we evolved from primates. What if a society evolved from insects?
Okay.
Right. So ew, gross. But so you can see why it didn't last. But you've got like so the hero's all blonde and ripped and has compound eyes, you know. Okay. And then the bad guy has got all these kind of spider type physical attributes like 8 eyes and
more limbs.
I have some there, but it'll just take me too long to go and pull them out. But they can't. So they were all kind of knights, you know. They had the kind of armor and swords and stuff. But then the real kicker for these was that they, instead of vehicles, they had mounts. So they had kind of animals that they would sit on and stuff, you know. But they were glove puppets, right? So you'd get like the bad guy, and then his mount, which was like a big flying spider, and it had these kind of translucent wings, and it had a battery powered motor in it that made the wings flap and everything, right?
Oh, cool.
But the mount was a glove puppet that went over your hand, so it was all creepy crawly. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Okay.
Yeah, and then he'd sit on that, and you'd be like, "Oh, scare your mom," you know.
So it actually had like a seat somewhere to sit on it as well.
Yeah.
That's good.
Awesome. Yeah. And I've never seen that used in any other toy line, you know. And it's like it must be some kind of proprietary thing for them, you know. Yeah. But yeah, it was awesome. Yeah, sectors, the things you cut the trees with. No, they're sectors.
There like secateurs. Is there like a TV show or no?
Yeah, there was a cartoon that didn't last very long, and there was a comic book that Marvel did that didn't last very long.
Okay, cool.
And the toy line itself didn't last very long.
Okay.
I have tried to rebuy that comic book series a few times, and every time I buy it from various different outlets, it never makes it here. I don't know why. I think 3 times it never made it to the house. It got returned at one point, and then with another dealer, it just disappeared. And I don't know,
a copyright thing or something.
It or something. No, I don't think the postman's worried about that stuff. It was just logistic issues. But I'll get there in the end. I know I will. And then I'll have them and I'll go, why did I buy this? But yeah, it was a really weird franchise. But Nacelle have brought it back. And they're doing like 6-inch figures. They haven't done the mounts yet. But if they're doing 6-inch figures, the mounts are going to be massive. So then again, I think the originals were 6-inch figures.
Glove. You go all the way down your arm. I don't know.
Just a costume you get into. But no, I actually think the originals were 6 inches. I can't remember. I think they were pretty big. They certainly weren't 3 3/4 inches. You know.
Okay.
So there was a brand that did. I think it was Jada or someone did a run of 3 3/4 inches. The bad guy and the good guy. A couple of years ago, they did that on Kickstarter, and I got them. And but now Nacelle are bringing them back kind of big time. But no mounts as yet, but I'd love to see them.
Yeah.
How did we get started on this?
Let's put that out there. Let's put like hashtag hand mount. No, that's
Maybe
gonna get the wrong people in it.
No.
Finger mount. That's where.
No. They were furry.
Oh.
Furry mounts. No.
Oh God. Yeah, maybe we'll work on this. We'll work on this.
Maybe just sectors.
Yeah. Sounds good. We'll move on.
This was so cool. Look at this, right? So, like, I know you don't know what this is, right? But Masters of the Universe, right? You've got a 2-headed character called Too Bad, right?
Yeah.
And for San Diego Comic-Con, Mattel have put out this exclusive, which is it tells the story of how Too Bad became Too Bad, right?
Oh, no way.
Turns out he was Tuvar and Badra before Skeletor zapped him and turned him into a 2-headed character.
That's brilliant. So I wouldn't have put that together. I was wondering what this was. I was going to say that guy looks like Skeletor. And like, can you buy these separately? Because if you can, that's brilliant.
No.
Match like this. It has to get together. Okay, that's cool.
So they come. They've never. I don't think they've ever been released separately, but they come. Also in that pack, they come with an amalgamated body as well, so you can pop it off. They're all modular. You can pop it off, stick that on, stick the 2 heads on. Yeah,
that's awesome. That's
really cool, isn't it? Yeah. I love that kind of stuff. It just tells a story, you know.
I thought this was going to be some offbeat toy I never heard before that had a guy that predated Skeletor, but that's actually Skeletor, and
that's the man. Yeah.
Wow, that's cool.
Keldor himself. Yeah.
Oh, that's really cool. Nice.
Pretty great. Yeah, love it.
What was this one?
So this is a paparazzi shot of the Daily Planet from the Superman movie.
Ooh,
in Cleveland. Shooting in Cleveland right now.
Ooh, I wasn't sure what this was. I thought it was
Ohio. Yeah.
Very cool. Looks the biz.
Very cool. So there's other pics available of like Soups and Mr. Terrific. All the good guys, really, and I didn't want to share them because
cool seeing Mr. Terrific out there actually, like really cool. It looks just like the books, like
it's straight up the Alex Ross costume,
right?
yeah, which Mitch Guards used as well,
that leather jacket, it looks deadly, like it looks really cool. So it surprised me. The casting so far, very interesting. The look looks just like a comic book. So I know I'm really excited for this.
Yeah, there's no kind of overly dark shots, and as great as Henry Cavill looks and everything, this guy looks like he grew up on a farm. And look, we'll see how it works.
I still think Cavill was just misused. I think if he was set in
completely
universe, he would have nailed it. I think he still nailed the role for as much as he could do. But I think this is like the marrying of all the Superman elements coming together and looking like a Superman product as opposed to Batman's popular. Let's do a grim, dark Batman type thing. And like I didn't realize this was from the film. That looks really good. It looks straight out of the comic book. I'm very excited now all of a sudden.
Real deco. Yeah, it's lovely. Yeah. Love it.
Nice.
Yeah, nothing gets me more excited than seeing the Daily Planet logo,
Yeah. That's awesome. Very happy now. That's really cool. Actually, something else I'm very happy about.
Oh yeah? What's that?
Clicking on the wrong screen. It's this guy.
Cool.
1 D&D is coming out. So 5e D&D will have the latest edition.
Right.
5e has been around for some time. That's the version of D&D that everyone's been playing for the last number of years.
Yeah.
And it's coming out, I think, the 17th of September.
Okay.
And I think we're going to use the same formula of rolling a D20, which is kind of how you know if you succeed or don't succeed in what you'd like the character to do. But now there's a whole new setup for fighters and people who, if you wanted to get very strategic playing the game, you kind of had to go into this kind of magic user role as opposed to go in and just hit something. But now there's a whole new setup for fighters that lets you get very strategic with how you play them. And it just looks fantastic. More customizabilities with your characters. Well, when you go to build them, you don't just kind of go with the formula that's in the book. They brought out editions after the first 5e Player's Handbook that came out. that like Tasha's Cauldron and Xanathar's Guide, all these things kind of really help people tweak and play with their cards a bit more. You could do more. You could pick new races of people to play as. It would give you different kind of benefits to you, to dexterity or strength, that kind of stuff. And now it all seems very customizable. It seems as though every time anyone was playing a D&D game and said, I wish we could have done this with this character. It's a pity the game doesn't allow for this. It looks like Wizards of the Coast were listening, and now you can do all that. This looks like it could be really good. And because it looks as though they're using the same 5e system of rolling the d20 for success and other die then being for probability rolls or damage die, that kind of stuff, it looks like it will be back compatible with the previous edition. So if you're stuck
so if you're a 5e player, you don't have to upgrade to this or whatever the term would be.
I'm sure if your DM wanted to just bring this in as a game you wanted to play with these new rules, you could do that, and it would translate very easily. But if you're in the middle of a game and you still want to go and try and get to your level 20 and max out, you could still do that, and you would find that going back to do your 5e with this stuff, it would all marry very well. So it looks as though this could be a really big hit for Wizards of the Coast.
Yeah, they come in for a lot of bashing, don't they? Since they took over D&D.
Yeah, they do. For all sorts of reasons, good and bad. They get it wrong, they get it right, like anyone else does, I guess.
Yeah.
But in the playtest, this has been play tested for maybe a year, maybe 2 years, and it seems to have worked out.
Yeah.
So yeah, this would be a big one for all the D&D fans.
Cool.
A big one. That's surely got to be a line for him.
Well, presumably September 17th is going to be D&D Day.
Oh, it better be. It better be. I mean, yeah, it's perfect.
Brings us back to Rishi Sunak. Anyway, so cool. So this is like a big thing to happen to D&D, yeah?
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, this is the new rule book. Supposedly it's way bigger than the previous rule book. I think everyone has to wait a bit longer for the monster manual to come out. I think usually they come out quite close to another. But the monster manual doesn't come out until February. I don't wait on that. So there's a good gap there. But there should be enough in the player's handbook to keep everyone going for a while. And because it's back compatible, I'd imagine the previous monsters manual would work out just as well too. So yeah, this looks like it could be a lot of fun. Between this and the new Critical Role game mechanics and stuff they're bringing out, there's kind of a lot to look forward to for tabletop stuff.
All right, nice.
Yeah,
nice.
I'll have to get you playing soon.
Yeah, you will. I would really like to, but I just never
had the time.
Well, I'm sure I had the time, but I was probably just too busy smashing action figures together.
Yeah.
You
can always bring him. You'd be the right person to go to for miniatures for the game.
Well, yeah, don't get me into that, man. Oh my god.
That's how I get you in. Did you get any further into Acolyte?
I did. I met Basil.
Okay, cool. All right.
Right. And that was a good thing, right? So I don't know if you caught up.
Yeah, I caught up.
Or you guys out there have caught up. But and we're going to talk about this, so I'm going to assume you've caught up. But I have to say, episode 4...
Go.
Yeah, spoilers. Episode 4 was definitely better than the first 3 episodes. Couple of good points. I stayed awake the whole way through.
That's always a good sign. Yeah,
it's always a good sign. I didn't have to watch it twice. And the tension has been
building.
Well, not really building, but I mean, I found the tension was built in this one. There was no tension up until now. But the tension was definitely built in this one through the mechanic of this little rat-faced dude who's of a race I don't think we've ever seen before.
No, he's new, and I think he's something between a beaver and something else. So he's got some kind of a.
It kind of looks like a capybara or something. Yeah. And this is the thing about Star Wars. Like, go back to what makes it great, and what makes it great are like rando creatures that we put significance into. And and he's exactly that. He's just a random creature, and because everyone's just acting like, oh, him, that's Basil.
Yeah.
You know, people are just like, well, I want to know everything about this guy. Why is he called Basil, for starters? Like, why does he have an English sounding name when he speaks a totally different language? Why is he 4 foot tall? Is he a small version of their race, or is he a child? You know, he's presumably a tracker because he's got like great sniffing capabilities. But what else can he do? You know, is it an intelligent civilization? I think it is. Where he comes from. You know, so all of those questions start when you see a character like that in Star Wars, and that's what's great. Having lots and lots of human, intelligent, you know, normal English-speaking characters or whatever in Star Wars is boring, right? It's so boring, and you can't have too many of them. You have to have an alien in the mix who looks and sounds and, you know, would feel completely different to a human being. And that's where I think they've really fallen down here. You don't have a regular kind of furry or whatever the hell it is. Now we do with Basil. I know Kel Naka's there, but he's not really, you know?
No, he's not. And yeah, well, we'll get into that in a second. But like I don't think Basil's hanging around though either.
No, I don't think he is. But it just shows you, it got me interested, right? Yeah. And in something that I really struggle to be interested in at all, you know. And there's this weird sexual tension thing that they're trying to build between, is it Yord and Jerky or whatever her name is, Jecki? I don't know. Is it Jecki?
Jecki.
Is that yeah, Wolverine.
I thought there was something between Jecki and May. Even
Jecki and May. Maybe there's something between Jecki and May. But they're trying to? I don't know. I just thought they were trying to do something with Yord. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I find.
I thought they were painting Yord as being like the kind of teacher's pet. You know.
Yeah, he's been aloof and all, but he's been aloof with his shirt off quite a bit. You know. And
I think that's to show who he is. He's kind of like he's so precious about that uniform. He's cleaning it when he's not wearing it. You know. And in that first episode, even
as you should,
on the bed, he pushes the back of it out so he doesn't sit and crease it. You know. And then he sits down and like he's a real particular sort, and he specifically learned the language that Basil uses instead of
so he's the bad guy then, is he?
No, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, I get the feeling that there's a lot of Jedi here that are bad guys.
Yeah, yeah, definitely a few of the ones who are being knocked off are bad guys.
Which I really like. And you know, as soon as like Marvel bring out like a one shot, you kind of know that character is going to get knocked out. And I think that like Kanaka is just the next one. I felt robbed a little bit in that last episode where we've
had approximately 1 minute of screen time with Kel Naka.
Yeah, but like I thought we get to see a Jedi Wookiee fight, and we
did.
Now, you know, felt like we were robbed. I hope there's more of that in the next episode or some kind of like timeline change, so we get to see some of that.
Well, I swear to God, if we go into the next episode and it's like, 10 years earlier and we don't get the fight that we left the cliffhanger on.
Oh, yeah, I'd be upset. Yeah.
You can right off. You know what I mean? Oh, let's be clever about the story. No, let's not. Let's just show the fight. You know?
We need it. I think at this
then again,
it needs to happen. Like, it needs to happen.
That helmeted dude is so overpowered compared to the others. I don't think it would be a very fair fight.
That's okay with me. I'd like to see that. I like the helmet. I like that kind of weird, like the
kind of rebreather thing.
I thought that was really cool.
And you can see his eye under it. See that?
Barely.
But it's a very interesting design. And so, like, do you know, it reminds me of Deathlock from Nemesis.
Oh, it's very good. Yeah,
it has that kind of vibe to it. You know, there's defo a bit of a Kevin O'Neill influence there. You know,
I saw a really funny one online about it called Smilo Ren, because the weird, the weird thing looks.
Yeah, there's a bit of a Joker thing happening. Yeah. But it's Manny Jacinto, isn't it? Like it's
it has to be. Like I think like as soon as you see the hand that looks like a human male hand, I think it has to be.
But you don't hire him and not use him,
right? And I think like in that last episode, there was clearly a lot of him going from being the kind of goofball, funny dude to quite dark. seemingly more capable than some of the best bounty hunters in the galaxy. So yeah, I think that was coming.
Still not into it, but I did like episode 4. There's a lot more to like in episode 4.
I'm enjoying it. I like how they're painting the Jedi here as just kind of incapable. Like they've kind of gotten lazy. They haven't done this stuff, and that's why this guy looks like he's essentially the level 20 Jedi, and the rest of them are maybe level 10, and they're in for a tough day.
So he's the Martin Luther of the Jedi, and he's leading a reformation. He's pinning his theses to the cathedral, and he's saying, "You guys got it all wrong. We need to change."
That was May, right? I think May is essentially that. I think this is. This guy is the devil. He's the Sith, right? He's not the master. I think there's someone else.
I'd just like to point out that we don't think Martin Luther was in league with the devil.
Did I make that comparison? Apologies.
He could have. Yeah.
Whoops.
Years of sectarianism and the peace process, and all ruined by the odd spot.
It's still part of the church in a way, right?
Yeah.
But like he's not part of the church at all, I guess.
What do you think of the witches?
I think it's awesome.
I think it's boring.
I like their kind of take on the Force, calling it the Tread. I think it was, wasn't it? I think that's cool, and I think that they're somewhere between Jedi and Sith as well in their whole talk of 1, 2, and many. I think that's the whole idea.
I think the philosophy is sound and everything, right? But the presentation of it was just so boring, and like. I think if you're going to do that and you have your little woo-woo dance and whatever, like just make it mysterious. Don't give me so much exposition every 2 minutes. Like there was so much explaining, man. You know,
still is in fairness. Yeah.
Like a bit of mystery around those guys would be good. There's none. I did again going back to the creature thing. I loved. When they went into the forest and those weird bugs. Yeah, they were great. That was a really cool design element, that they look like kind of burrs on trees, but actually, they're these horrible flying
millipede type thing.
Awfulness. Yeah. And they were really creepy, which was cool. Yeah, there was lots to like, and the production design was definitely a step up from previous episodes.
Yeah,
like that witch place, that felt like a set from a children's ITV production from 1986. Like it really.
I like that. Yeah. They've only kind of recently got that place, so it's still kind of a hole in the ground, I guess. The car step out of a mountain.
Just felt like a soundstage with a dusty floor, like a lot of the sets in this so far. But fair play to them for making it, because it's just so hard to get anything made. And hats off them.
But I still like how they have this current theme from the very start where Jedis aren't supposed to pull their weapon unless they're intending to kill somebody. And several times in episode, we're seeing Jedi just pull their lightsaber out because.
So right, you've really kind of glommed onto that particular rule.
This is great. Yeah, I think that's a great take on it, because you're seeing this from the point of view of the Jedi being the bad guys. They're the ones.
But when have you ever heard that before? Like maybe I've missed it, but I've never heard it before. It could be in the novel somewhere. Or it could be.
Yeah.
But
I haven't read all those.
How many times have we seen a Jedi pull his weapon and not kill anyone?
Yeah.
Like Luke was never taught that, right? Because he pulls his weapon all the time to get through doors or,
use
chop
torch.
up.
Yeah,
use his torch. Yeah. So it fits this story because it's useful for the telling of this particular character's aspect on Jedi, but it's like it just feels, that's the thing, it just feels there's a certain amount of authenticity that's missing. And I'm not a canon freak. I'm not like, no, in episode whatever. I'm not going to be pulling that, but I just feel like everything about this has been built from what do we do next, and it all has to serve the story they're telling. And I don't know. I feel like because
because this is so far back in the past, before we've had anything else kind of happen, and we haven't seen the Sith in like 100 years or something in this. Like, I feel like this is probably before like the Jedi have their Reformation, before they have their Vatican II or something, when they realize these all things were mistakes.
I think that's Order 66, isn't it? I think that's
Yeah. Like, I think they're gonna have like, these are the things that we've fallen down on. We were blind to these obvious things, and now we have to make changes. Like, I mean, like when you see them,
I get that. I get
soldiers, you don't get the impression that these are the good guys, And
no, they're fat and bloated, and they've too much power, and they're tax collectors, and they're all those boring things that we, remember how excited we were to see episode 1.
Yeah.
And then it starts with a, fucking tax problem, and you're like, what? What? you're reading the crawl going, what? Strap in. But yeah, I mean, they are like, they are administrators, and they're, religious zealots, and they're all those things that aren't great about a society that's reached its peak in a way, and has gone beyond, and probably needs to be taken down. But my question here is, why make it then? Because what's it going to tell us?
As in, it can't add to something we've seen before. Like,
yeah,
I don't think it can give us characters that we might like and come to love again. That kind
I think
of
it
stuff.
might only exist to take things down, and there's a reason. Like, there's all sorts of art that does that too, and that's great. But I don't know, man. The jury's out, but I'll keep watching it.
Yeah, it has my attention, but I will agree. Like, I think it has been a slow build to this point, and then to cut on
a very slow
cliffhanger that I think we were really needing. Like, I think the fourth episode is going to really have to.
Oh, sorry, the next one's the 5th.
Yeah. So tomorrow's episode is going to have to be pretty awesome.
And I want loads of Basil answers, please. If you're going to give me lots of exposition, give me exposition around Basil. That's what I want. Anyway, let's move on and not call it lack of light. So,
not so long ago. Look at this.
Look at him there now.
Yeah, that's a great poster.
It's a great poster.
Yeah.
I love it. It's a great logo as well.
It is a great logo. Did you just find this today? Did you find this a few days ago?
This was PR'd. When was it? About 2 or 3 days ago. Yeah. No, it was Friday. I think it was Friday. It was sent out. Yeah.
I told you. Looks awesome. Like, looks really cool. Feels like Gotham. Feels somewhere like the animated series.
Feels like 40s Los Angeles in a way as well. There's a little bit of that there,
Yeah, there's no Gothic statues or gargoyles hanging off anything, and he's off a neon Gotham sign instead of
it's deco all the way, man. It's it's pretty nice, and they've released the cast as well. So we've got Hamish Linklater, who is playing Batman, and Bruce Wayne, of course, him of Midnight Mass, which my opinion on that. So that'll be interesting. So he's described as Bruce Wayne is described as a shallow dilettante. Ooh. Apparently wasting his parents' vast fortune on frivolous pursuits and hedonistic pleasures. Sure, why wouldn't you? Yeah. But in fact, he's an elaborate facade, carefully constructed to divert attention from his activities as Batman. So that's pretty cool. I love it already. Christina Ricci is voicing Catwoman.
Oh, that's a great cast.
Huh?
Yeah, that's.
I'm in.
Yeah.
I
mean, I don't need to hear anymore. I'm done. I like all that.
Yeah. Oh, don't worry. I'm not gonna read it all out. And Jamie Chung is playing Harley Quinn. So Dr. Quinzel is a brilliant psychiatrist who treats some of Gotham's elite. However, as Harley Quinn, she's a different person entirely, a creepy, quiet, calculating menace who secretly dispenses her twisted justice to the truly despicable among her elite clientele.
That's going to be a really fun take on that character.
That's a good take. Yeah. That is noir 40s character,
Yeah.
Love it. Diedrich Bader, who's also played Batman.
He
in
has.
Brave
Yeah.
and the Bold.
I thought he was going to be Batman in this. I'm surprised.
He's playing Harvey.
Yeah. That's also a good cast there
He's
too.
Two-Face. Talented, great looking, and charismatic D.A. Dent is also ruthlessly ambitious, arrogant, short-tempered, and a dangerous person to cross. So very long Halloween, you know.
Yeah.
And after a vengeful criminal disfigures half his face with acid, spoilers, and two sides of his nature are separated, spoilers, and exaggerated, spoilers, the scarred half of his face comes to represent his compassion, sorrow, and decency, while the handsome half now represents his rage and sense of entitlement.
Oh,
so clever!
Oh,
Of course, the good-looking dude, the good-looking white dude, is going to be all entitled. Of course.
What have we
Of
ever
course.
seen that take on him before?
No.
Whoa.
How have they not done that before?
Yeah, that's fucking.
Why didn't I think of that? Well, I know why I didn't think of that. But, you know, and no comments, please. I know. But, like, come on. Amazing.
Wow, that's a great take as well. Is anyone else that's kind of a little bit off the beaten track? That's
well, Minnie Driver's in it.
Who's she? Oh, I think I saw her.
No, we don't get names now. Minnie Driver, McKenna Grace, let me see, John DiMaggio, him of every show ever.
Yeah.
Paul Scheer, our friend from How Did This Get Made? Reed Scott, who was in Veep. If you'd shown me this, I would say, oh, Reed Scott's definitely Harvey Dent. Now I'm thinking Reed Scott shows up as Superman. You know,
is
SpongeBob's in it. Tom Kenny's in it.
Really?
Joker? Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. SpongeBob Joker? I
could really see that.
Yeah. Haley Joel Osment. He sees dead people. So yeah, I mean Toby Stevens, like just very Toby Stevens. Who's Toby Stevens going to play? Maybe Clayface, because it's Clayface 1, and he's an actor. You know, Toby Stevens can do that.
And who's DiMaggio? Like, who's he playing? Like Killer Croc?
I don't know. He could be playing 9 characters. Like, let's face it. You know, so many voices. Who else? Jason Watkins.
That's a good time for John DiMaggio between this and the new Gears of War game coming out. He's fully booked for a while.
Yeah, man. Yeah, J.J. Abrams is producing it as well.
Ooh, nice. This is pretty tasty. Tastier and tastier. That's a great take on Two-Face, though. Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I'm all in on that, man. That's just yeah. You know,
can't top that.
No, I mean, you don't even, you know, DC Prime, you don't even have to release this, because that is just, I mean, I want to watch it, but just that is just, you know?
Yeah. What a great idea.
Yeah, man. Unbelievable. Here's the synopsis. Welcome to Gotham City, where the corrupt outnumber the good, criminals run rampant, and law-abiding citizens live in a constant state of fear. Forged in the fire tragedy, wealthy socialite Bruce Wayne becomes something both more and less than human, the Batman. His one-man crusade attracts unexpected allies within the GCPD and City Hall, but his heroic actions spawn deadly, unforeseen ramifications. So, it looks like he's going to be the reason why some of the bad guys become bad guys.
Like, that sounds great. Yeah, so he kind of spurred it all on. That's another great take. I'm in. I mean, this show sounds fantastic.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Forget about it. I'm done. Like, this is it. So yeah. I don't know. We might do a little watch along or something when this comes out.
Yeah. I think we should Last of Us this.
Yeah. Do you want to do that?
It's on Prime, so it'll do a whole batch in one go, right?
Well, I don't know. So like Prime releases The Boys by the week, and then it releases all of Fallout in one go. And I finished that, by the way. And yeah, so you know, we'll see.
Cool. What did you think of Fallout then? Since you just dropped that bomb.
Oh, very good. Yeah, well done, everybody. You were right. Yeah, loved it. Loved the ending. Yeah,
really good. Right. I mean, they just had to stick the landing. It was just they didn't do anything new. There's nothing mind blowing.
Didn't have to.
But it was really solid. Yeah.
Yeah. What a cast.
Yeah.
Awesome.
A really great cast.
I know we're running out of time here, but there's one other thing I need to mention.
Mention away.
Toys R Us did an AI ad.
An ad?
An ad. And they used AI to build the whole bloody thing, and it looks awful.
I must look it up. I haven't. When did this come out?
I just saw it today.
Okay. It sounds a bit early for AI to be doing ads like that.
Yeah. It doesn't look good, man.
Yeah.
There's a kid character in it, and he's kind of monstrous in a way. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
I'll check that one out.
Yeah.
There's a way to use this. There's a way not to use it, you know. Right. I think we might can it there. Do you want to tell people where they can find you, where they can find the Oz Pods?
Oh, you'll find me wandering around Marley Park trying to find Eddie Vedder for the next few days anyway. So
your friend might know. He's been stalking him.
Edward Vedward, as his full name is. Yeah, Sambo might know. No, I think he's playing Manchester tonight. Okay. You can find me, you know, if you want to, at Dave M. Hendrick on everything bar X, where I'm at Dave Hendrick. Which I'm thinking of leaving. I don't know about, man. X, I don't know. It's getting murky.
I don't know, man. It's where we get most of our viewers.
I know. Yeah. That's depressing, isn't it?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, but it's our place. You know, it's a good one.
Yeah, we live in the murk. But you know, come talk to me on nice platforms like Blue Sky and Threads. Although that's, you know, owned by the Cobra Commander of our time. So you know, everyone's a supervillain. I don't know. I'm around. Where are you to be found, young man?
You can find me on all the socials as some version of Benesy. Tomorrow night, before I nearly forgot. Tomorrow night, I'm on my stream. Benesy's Art on YouTube, Benesy 10 on Twitch, and I think there's Benesy on Twitter. And I'll be finishing this guy. So I have over one of the odds in progress. I started it before I went away to Spain. I'll be finishing it now that I'm back.
Nice.
Good chunk of it done. A lot of the thinking's out of the way, so like what's left now should be a lot of fun to do.
You gave good bear.
Thanks. I like drawing the bear. Bear was a good shout. Like drawing Hank too, or Buck. Buck is good.
Yeah, Buck's great.
Yeah, Buck is good. So I'll be trying to put all this together tomorrow night at 9:00 GMT.
Nice.
And you can always find us on the OzPods. Please hit that like button, subscribe, and hit the alerts. Follow us, never miss a time. It'd be good. We're going to have
all those things that I haven't learned to say. I haven't learned to say any of those things yet.
I know. We've been very poor at that, but we'll get
like, subscribe, sign up.
Download wherever you subscribe, you know.
Send us your snail mail. I don't know, whatever. Send us snails.
Yeah.
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 And you can find us on podcasts, but we haven't actually uploaded any of the audio files yet.
No, we have them. We need to get them sent over to 8.0.
Yeah, we should do some work on that.
We should.
But you know what? I'm going to do it tomorrow.
Hey. All right, cool.
My promise to you, listener.
We need a little bit of music before we head out of here.
Shall we dance?
That's just it, because otherwise it's just us staring, smiling awkwardly in a freeze frame. Well, catch you guys again next week, Tuesday, 9:00, and we'll have more of this stuff for you. And I'll bring along this finished cover as well.
Nice.
See you guys next week. Bye.